Hello, my name is Dawn McBride. My proposed two-generation project is geared toward parents and pre-kindergarten children entangled in poverty. My audience is the Syracuse metropolitan area with a pilot project initiated in Onondaga County's City of Syracuse School District. Accordingly, my planned approach for pre-kindergarten children is in concert with Syracuse School District's use of the New York State Pre-Kindergarten Foundations for the Common Core curriculum. The Dawn McBride Common Core Embedded Two Generations project will be presented to students in class and over the internet. Project contact for parent caregivers will be in person, in the classroom, and through internet and webinar media. Webinars for the parent caregiver will be launched using the Zoom platform. Plans for media are utilizing the internet for various sites for children and parents, and utilizing the webinar so parents can send, receive, and discuss issues in real time. My process uses a variation of the two-generation approach. It is a poverty mitigation methodology concentrating on creating educational opportunities which addresses the knowledge acquisition needs of both children and their parents. Two-generation models are of interest federally through the HHS's Administration for Children and Families. McBride 2Gen is being developed for implementation by educational institutions. There is a curriculum for children and a seminar plan for adult caretakers. The seminar will be delivered in the form of webinars. For the children, I am using the preschool creative curriculum supported by Teaching Strategies. This curriculum is a comprehensive, research-based methodology that features exploration and discovery as a way of learning, enabling children to develop confidence, creativity, and lifelong critical thinking skills. Encompassed within Teaching Strategies are research-based objectives for development and learning that are aligned with the New York State Pre-Kindergarten Common Core. For learning goals and objectives, the McBride 2Gen program's primary goal is to ensure that the child will be ready to attend kindergarten with the skills necessary for success. Additionally, through 2Gen, parents will be taught ways to support their child's learning. For children's assessment, McBride 2Gen will use elements of an observation-based assessment system known as Teaching Strategies Gold, or TSG. TSG is an authentic, ongoing, observation-based assessment system that links teaching and assessment together. Children's assessment. The primary purpose of Teaching Strategies Gold is to document children's objectives for development and learning. TSG enables educators to focus on and measure the knowledge, skills, and behaviors most predictive of school success. The tool has a total of 38 objectives that are organized into 10 areas of development and content area learning. The areas are social-emotional, physical, language, cognitive, literacy, mathematics, science and technology, the arts, social studies, and English language acquisition. TSG shows progressions of development and learning. Indicators and examples enable teachers to rate children's knowledge, skills, and behaviors. With TSG, teachers can use a variety of online tools to gather and organize meaningful data quickly, including online portfolios where children's work can be stored. TSG creates a developmental profile of each child to answer the questions: what does this child know? What is he or she able to do? What is this child's strength? What is this child's weakness? The information can be used to scaffold each child's individual learning. At Head Start, I have been using this software for many years. 3 times a year, the teacher generates a child's report for each trimester and meets with the parent or caretaker to go over their child's results. I always enjoy this time with the parents because I can highlight and share each child's uniqueness. It is truly amazing for me to see how much the child has grown, especially when we compare the progress from the first trimester to the 3rd trimester. Turning to the family, an important 2Gen program goal is: how can we partner with this individual family to assist them in setting and obtaining the goals that the family members set for themselves. It is important for parents to participate in setting their goals. The program will use questionnaires for parent caretakers and help set and obtain their family goals. A key component of the program is the McBride 2Gen webinars. The webinars are the major learning tools for the adults. McBride 2Gen recognizes that online capabilities and computer access is limited for this population. To assist our caretakers with obtaining webinar and other new media access, we plan to offer lower rates through the government Lifeline program. Lifeline is used by Verizon to lower excess costs to lower income customers. McBride 2Gen will seek grants to increase the Lifeline subsidy and provide a computer lending program for our constituents. Webinars will be presented through a readily accessible platform offered by Zoom technology. Zoom webinar and meeting platforms allow participants to meet via smartphone, desktop, computer, laptop, or tablet. Zoom is built on conferencing. It was designed to encourage interaction and encourage conversation and dialogue, which will work really well with my audience. It is phenomenal for conversation and interactive training. It is easy to encourage and bring other guests into the conversation. For the McBride 2Gen, many of these webinars will be based on parents' or caretakers' interests. A list of possible topics includes health and well-being, social capital, participation in community and faith-based organizations, and parenting skills. One other advantage to using the Zoom webinar platform is the reduction of the necessity for home visits. The webinar reduces stranger danger fears among both parent, caretakers, and 2Gen staff. And finally, via webinar, parents will connect with each other and their community. They can collaborate and help each other with problem solving from the comfort of their own home. 7 McBride 2Gen web seminars, known as webinars, are to be scheduled during a 15-week semester. In the United States, the average webinar length is 60 minutes. 6 webinars will vary in time from 30 to 60 minutes. To allow for Q&A with a community leader, one webinar will be 75 minutes. It is intended that someone from the neighborhood acts as a co-host for each webinar. Co-hosts may rotate based on the topic or a co-host that has some experience or interest in co-hosting. Additionally, as stated, one webinar will feature guest speakers with expertise in topics of interest to parent caretaker participants. McBride 2Gen webinar topics are as follows. The first webinar will welcome participants and facilitate an icebreaker. We will have an introduction to causes and sustainability of low-income communities. The second webinar will discuss goals for families and pass out materials. At the third webinar, we will begin a discussion on goals and tell participants that the next 2 webinars will be more in-depth on goals. The fourth webinar will discuss goals and begin an introduction to solutions. The fifth webinar will discuss solutions. The 6th time we meet, we will discuss what was learned with the goals to solutions sessions held. The 7th webinar will consist of a self-evaluation with participants and webinar leaders. To evaluate participants and the effectiveness of the webinar series, there will be discussion interaction in large and small groups, teacher-led Q&A, and polling. The webinars will be recorded and reviewed. Participants will also complete surveys. And finally, so parent caretakers know what is expected of them in this program, there will be an assessment rubric. The non-working parent caretaker will volunteer in the classroom once a month. The working parent caretaker will interact with school staff via email. The parent caretaker will meet with facility and managers. Parent caretakers who are employed will complete this process via email. Once a month, the parent caretaker will complete surveys or questionnaires. Once a week, the parent caretaker will work together with their child to complete the child's homework. And finally, the parent caretaker will participate in webinars. Prior to the advances in technology and media, involving this population of preschool parents in their children's education worked minimally at best. I predict my project will overcome previous hurdles. Thank you for viewing this presentation of the McBride Two Generations Project for pre-kindergarten students and their parent caretaker.